I see. I get it going up like that. Ready, set, fish! This doesn't look like a fishing game to me. Why do you say fish?
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle.
Is it?
Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Don't get okay, yeah.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
Simple
We're going to
enough.
see it a lot.
Okay.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Alright. I guess I got no choice but to press enter. Holy shit.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing.
Holy
I
shit.
actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Is to play the games that the creator makes. So we're back here again. What? You're now exiting?
Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Okay. Maybe just games that he didn't... I don't know. I don't know this guy, but the great and lovely Descent. Oh my god, that is bright. I guess I'm going through the house. I can travel up the White Hills, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing up there.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Okay.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Correct.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Okay.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors.
Shit!
That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
I see. Well, I guess I'm just going this way. Guess there's no fall damage. I thought I was dead. I really did. I thought I was screwed. What is this, a prison? Alright. Is that my cell? So I'm not special enough to get the first floor. I get the third floor. Well, no.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yes, thank you.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable. whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Oh, he got you good. Well, I mean, I create videos. I got a lot of videos that I've done, and a lot that quite a few, not a lot, but quite a few that I haven't actually put out. Pretty much just for my entertainment. And what's with these holes? It's like the third time I've seen them. All right. I mean, yeah, I mean...
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
He just feel like, you know, making these games for fun. It's a hobby, like
There's
what I do.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
I see the itch again. Okay. Why would he make... I don't know. It's a simple little puzzle that made no sense to me to have. Listen. You there, did you come from up
Here,
above?
Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
I can kind of figure that out. What was up there? World stamping whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison. I spent hours. Let's go with the whiteness. That's the world above. You been there? Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I do remember someone that... Trust me, you don't want to go over there. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It is the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there's nothing I want more. Okay. Hello, how did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes, do you want to know how to solve it? No, we actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Why would it care about the space between the doors? There is a reason, but it may take time before you understand, which is fine. You'll see soon enough. Huh.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Okay. It's a lamppost.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination. which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay. April 2009. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see have been left by other players. I really doubt that. Why is it always looking up to the left? It did that in the other game. Nice room. Not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet.
Yeah,
all of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it, and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
Eventually.
Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Okay. I was trying to read this, but then he's talking. You can't know someone just by doing their work. I mean, if you want to be their friend, you did all that trouble to try to, you know, be his friend. Hold on, let me get this down. What? Okay, like I was saying, you can't know someone by their work. If you did all this thing just to be their friend and everything, but I don't know. There's a shitload. I'm going to read them all. So, what I'm going to do now is speed up. So you don't have to sit here for every, whatever. If you want to skip it, I guess it's going to be like a couple minutes at supersonic speed. But anyway, yeah, here we go.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means.
Okay.
Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
What? Is it really that deep to do that? I don't think it is.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Really? Hop.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Really? I don't know. This seems kind of strange to me. How do you leave notes? Ha! Holy shit. Why is it so loud? Okay, I understand. Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having such difficulty talking? Speak, 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 speak. I have difficulty talking with all the damn typewriters.